70% of backpackers hit one country in their travels and they end up going back home, giving up, never doing it again. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So we're out here in Vietnam at a exclusive coffee shop. I don't know if it's exclusive, but nobody's bothering me, so that's exclusive enough for me. But I want to talk to you about the truths of backpacking. I'm out here traveling again, kind of moving about Vietnam, getting some stuff done, and I'm having to go back to my roots as in how I used to travel, being lightweight, being a lot of like back and forth on buses and motorbikes and taxis and hotel hopping. It feels different to me, and I'm realizing the things I used to do when I started traveling way before in the day was so valuable. So I want to talk to you about what I do, some tips that just get you ready if you do plan on coming out here to Vietnam or Thailand, Cambodia, wherever, and doing your travel, what to be ready for, some things not to do, and what you should actually do. So backpacking itself has always had this conception of being like a wildlife party. Traveling, seeing different parts of the world. Going to places you'll never see and enjoying populations of people that you would never actually interact with back home. So it's definitely something you have to do if you want to see the authentic side of these cultures. Now, the biggest issue is always discomfort. This is something a lot of people step into and they don't know how to deal with it all the time, or they don't know what to do. When you're coming from the Western world, you're used to a certain lifestyle, certain amenities, stuff like that. When you get out here to Asia, you're not going to see stuff like that. You're not going to get the quiet, for example. You're not going to get the bathrooms that you would typically see. You're not going to get the basic stuff, customer service, cell phone service, a napkin in a restaurant. These things don't typically always happen. It's very important, and this sounds weird, but it's very important to be in shape. And I don't mean, like a six-pack like me and doing 1,000 push-ups a day like me, or jump roping 30 to 60 minutes a day like me. Nothing like that. Just being in basic shape. Some of the biggest things I've kind of encountered while I've traveled has in fact been discomfort when it comes to like my back, my legs, my arms, just overall exhaustion from all the traveling, because the amount of walking, the hiking, the on and off buses that you get onto is very tiring. And something that's not talked about a lot is when you're going to the sleeper bus, to hotel, to sleeper bus, motorbiking from town to town, this stuff is more draining than I think working a 9-to-5 job, because nothing's consistent. Nothing is what you think it's going to be. Most things don't end the way you think they're going to be, which is why I always tell people don't overbook your trips and overplan them, because things keep changing. Now, when it comes to the traveling part, my minimalistic life has been a lifesaver. People come out here with backpacks, like these big, like banana-looking backpacks, 2 or 3 of them. We're talking 150 kilograms or more of actual backpackage. Is that a word, backpackage? You don't have to do this. Everything fits in a 20-liter. It can blow it out to a 30 if I need it to be, but everything fits where it needs to fit. And this is a lifesaver, especially if you're in Asia. Most stuff that you need to buy, you can find in a market within like 10 or 20 minutes from wherever you're at. I can buy jeans, shirts, deodorant, food, hair supplies, new clothes, an iPhone repair shop. I can buy a brand new MacBook. I can do anything. So don't overpack. So pack enough to get you by for like 2 or 3 days. And if you need more, buy as you go. I showed this before. I'll take my shoe off now. But this is a knockoff, not New Balance, but I forget the name of it. But it's a knockoff shoe. It cost me like $8. I bought them. They've been lasting me for like a month, 2. They work good, but you can buy everything as you need it. So don't overpack. There's no reason, or unless there's something very urgent or unique to you that you need, like a medication or something like that, don't worry about it. Just pack as you need and buy it as you go. Plus, when you're flying through airports, having to do check-ons, it's getting expensive now, guys. It's like $70, $80 a bag these days. The next one is just keep your expectations a little lower than you think. This reminds me of this guy, Chris Abroad. He does this Japanese channel, YouTuber in Japan, right? He did this like across Japan thing where it's like 30 days he drove across Japan. Every day he was going to vlog. Every day he was going to edit, and every day he was going to post, and every day he was going to ride a little further south. And the problem with this is after about 2 weeks, he got burnt out. He didn't realize how much work went into actually all the editing, how challenging it is to find hotels in random remote spots. Like, I know Japan's a lot more westernized than like places like Vietnam and Cambodia, but it sometimes can be very difficult to find a hotel or hostel. Booking.com and Hostel World aren't always going to be your best friend out here. And there's times where you just stay in people's houses or they put you outside in a tent. There's a few times I was in this village town of Sun La, like outside of Sun La, which is northwest in Vietnam, like south of Sapa. And we ended up staying in this guy's backyard, like sleeping on the ground. There was no hotels in this area for like 20 kilometers. So we had to sleep on this dude's floor, and he charges like $15. It was like, he knew what he was doing. I mean, it's obvious. So keep your expectations a little lower, because there are going to be times when things happen that you just don't expect. And this next one is just kind of take everything as it is. When you travel through Asia, especially Asia being a third world country, places like Vietnam, Cambodia, Laos, Malaysia is pretty third world status once you get out of the main city. You're going to run into situations that are weird, that are uncomfortable, that are not what you expect. They're not as luxurious as you want. You know, like, there was times in Vietnam where I was walking my motorbike through a river, which was ironically on the main road because the water was 5 feet high during a flood. And I was just going through it laughing. Like, all the decisions I made in my life, all the actions and the moments I made led to that moment. This will never happen in Hawaii or America or California. It never will. So you just have to take these things kind of how they are. You can't complain, you can't fight, you can't get angry like the locals will, because they live in it. So I get why they're a little angry. This reminds me when I was in Klang, Thailand. This is like way southeast in Bangkok, like 6 hours southeast of Bangkok. The entire city flooded. It was on a riverbank. And it flooded. Like, my house, I had a 2-story house. The first floor was literally a swimming pool. And we got to help a lot of the local, like, fire department out to get food out to a lot of the elderly people. So we got to do something weird. Like, I never did charity where I helped donate food and brought food to people's houses like you see on these TV shows with, like, these Jehovah's Witness things. I got to do that, you know, like, and that wasn't something I was expecting. I thought we were going to go see a Buddha temple, you know, so you have to take things with a grain of salt and accept that things aren't always going to go your way and make the best out of every situation, good or bad. These are still experiences that you not only paid for, but you will probably never experience in the West. So enjoy the bad, enjoy the good, enjoy packing light, because you don't need all that garbage. And most of all, keep your expectations a little lower than what you have. Don't try to plan your trip step by step. I know a lot of you guys out there, like, on Monday, we're going to do this until 3, until 5, until 6. Don't do that. Things are going to happen. Things are going to get delayed. And some things might just not be as fun as you thought or as good as you expected. Or maybe something is just really cool. You know, a lot of people that go through today think it's just a pass through town and they realize they love it. A lot of them stayed there and lived. A lot of them stayed for 2 extra weeks. They got the holiday. They realized the city sucked, because it does. Get over it. So there you have it. These are kind of my ideas that after 11, 12 years of traveling, these are the things that I really feel are really key point to making your traveling abroad some of the best possible without putting you in these levels of stress or disappointment or frustration or even in a time crunch. I mean, who travels to Southeast Asia on a vacation worried about time crunching? That's a horrible thing, man. Go back to the office job for that. So if you have any other questions, any other suggestions, if you do want to live out here long term, check out the ebooks below. I got a bunch of books that'll show you how to stay in Vietnam, work in Vietnam, Thailand as well, and get a long-term visa so you don't have to actually leave. And if you want to get more insights on what life is truly like living in Asia, hit the join button below, become a member of the group, and ask any question you want in there. You get a lot of insight information that a lot of people don't get and is always up to date. So with that, guys, I'm going to get out of here. Thanks for watching, and I will see you again.